Is it broadcasting? Okay, we're back on Twitch. And now we're back on YouTube. But it says offline. Are we alive? Hey everybody! Cockney John is here. Good evening to you, Cockney John. You're very welcome. Be sure to hit the little refresh button. Michael Gorman says, "We alive." Let's hope it is the only glitch that we see for this evening. Seeker Race is here. He says, "Good evening, good evening. It looks like perfect weather for flying." This is like our hold music. I like hold music. It wouldn't be a stream without something happening. Paddy140 is here on Twitch. He says, "Back now." Mike UK is here. He says, "Alive and well." Okay, shall we continue? That was as close as I could get to the Pink Panther for obvious copyright infringements. But yeah, welcome back, everybody. Blast you, internet. Blast. Anyway. Okay, shh, go away, you music. Favorite plane in Microsoft Flight Sim, says Ryan. The 172. I do like it. Sicky Ray says elevator music. Aidan Darty says, "What happened, Murphy?" I don't know. Billy says, "Well, lads, what's the crack?" Billy Rose said, "I thought it was something I said." I'm telling you, there's an ambush around every corner down here. In search of Bantry Part 1.1. Tarso, you're absolutely right, and if you look back through some of my YouTube videos, it'll have a Part 1, then a Part 1.5, then a Part 2, and so on and so forth. Skyfly Bryce says, "Hello, I'm currently eating my Chinese takeaway." Nice. Dagon Gaming, no he's not. Dagrin Gaming is here though. He says, "G'day Murph." Hello, Dagrin Gaming, how are you? James Jordan, he says, "I drifted off to Brazil for a moment, but I'm back." Good stuff, James, many thanks. And let's see if this is all working. So there was loads of us in here and then we all disappeared. Anyway, what I was saying, we're going to take off here from Newcastle, ramble over to Burr. Let's get that going now in case anything else mad happens. What do you reckon? I reckon so. So hopefully we don't have a night of this. We've heard this before. Okay. Quesadilla says, "Punch it, I like your thoughts." So a bit of oomph here, we'll do a Yui, and we're going to head out to the runway. So in the real world, I do believe, if you're on grass, you tend to lean back on the yoke, as in pull it back, to keep a little bit of pressure off the nose. Unless, of course, you want to cut some grass. Or damage a prop. Billy asks, "Am I doing online today?" Yes, indeed. Once we get down to Burr, which is Echo India Bravo Romeo, we'll do a bit of flying around. Like they say, Rio de Janeiro continues beautiful. Mike UK asks, "Have you done any Alaska flights so far?" Not a whole lot. A little bit. I'm still kind of exploring. Joe Blow Photo is here. He says, "Good evening, Two-Tone." Good evening to you, Joe. Hope you're keeping well, my dude. So we're not going to take off facing Dublin. We're going to take off facing Wicklow. Just cause. So we make sure all our lights and stuff are working. Strobes and all that are on. Yes. Transponder will be next. Go ahead and put that onto altitude mode. As we taxi ourselves into position here. Make a bit of a left turn. So there is kind of... Well, they painted the grass, didn't they? But it looks grand. So let's hope that's the only bug for this evening. It's early yet though, guys. You wouldn't know what's going to happen. Ethan Short says, I've never taken off towards Wicklow town in Newcastle. There's probably a good reason for that. There'd be a mountain down there. But it's grand. This is a night of nights that things are going to happen. As we saw. Although the internet says it's quite good now, so that's always a good sign. Keith Gia says, anything can happen in the next half hour, I'm telling you. Philly Road says, I flew in Greenland the other day expecting lots of snow. It was green. Oh. Well, unless of course you turn on snow in the weather option setting thingy. So we'll see. One notch of flaps there, please. As we get our machine turned around here. Jawaku is here. He says Wicklow County is beautiful. I was there last year. Nice. Okay, let's see. Can we get some sort of a plan in play here? So we're going to move our heading indicator to south. We're going to take off and we'll do kind of a big loop just to kind of show off the area, and then we'll proceed on course. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Quick check. So make sure set to rich. RPM coming up. We're squawking. Lights are on. Flaps are down. We're good to go. So power is set. Keep the pressure off the nose on our roll off here. Airspeed coming alive. Slowly. Very slowly. There's 55 knots. We're light. And we're airborne. Well, that wasn't much of a chore now, was it? Matt Walt says that's one rough looking runway. I know, right? And there's a railway that runs down here as well, but I haven't seen any trains yet, so maybe they're in it, maybe they're not. We shall see. Bring our flaps back up here and get ourselves trimmed out. So what we can do... Oh, steady now. The trim is always really kind of oversensitive, isn't it? Do any of you guys use the trim wheel? And if so, is it any good? So we're going to go down here to our autopilot. Autopilot on, heading mode on, altitude we're going to set for 3,000 feet. And we're going to go V-speed 500 feet per minute. Disappear you and you. Let's get some lights on in here so we can see what we're doing. And we should be good now for a jiffy. KCG says, I use the trim wheel and yeah, I find it better. Yeah. Ethan says, is the Sugarloaf Bray neck of the woods modelled well? It is. Well, the mesh in Ireland is stunning in comparison to any other sim, in my own humble opinion. Jam says there seems to be a lot more scenery weirdness the closer you get to the Arctic. Yes, I can agree with that. Mike UK says, what a great place to take off from. Great view. You've seen nothing yet. This neck of the woods is nice. As we'll hop on out here. Neville Johnson asks, what was your favourite game before Flight Sim? Well, a game or sim. So if it was a flight sim, it would be 100% X-Plane 11. And I still dip my toes back into X-Plane 11 every now and again. In terms of games, what was I playing? I was playing a lot of racing games. I have been looking at, I haven't picked it up yet, but I have been looking at Crusader Kings 3. I'm very much intrigued by that game. It looks very good. So we shall see. Jawaku says, yes, the trim wheel on my T16000 is very sensitive, indeed. Skyfly Bray says, you can set up your mouse to act as the button for the trim. Cool. Ethan Short says, I remember one time I was on the train back from Gorey to Bray, and when we were flying past Newcastle, there was a 152, and the speeds were synced, and it looked like we were floating. It was very cool. Awesome. Sounds very nice indeed. So we'll jump inside here and just hop over to this seat, because we can do that in the sim, and just kind of have a gawk out the window, because it is nice. S. Voigt is here. Good evening to you, Scott. I hope you're keeping well. Happy Wednesday to you. Patrick Cullen says, is there a photogrammetry coming to Dublin? Yes, there is. Kempton Naughton says, aren't you heading down to where they filmed Private Ryan? We're kind of heading that direction. It's further down Wexford, neck of the woods though. UK Bay says, has anyone seen any leisure boats yet? I have a set to 100 but don't see any. No, I have seen some of the larger ships though, tankers and the like. Well, Walt says, your original commentary is being replayed. As in kind of double vision but voice. That's never good. Can anyone else verify or deny? Billy Road says, so, some jokes. Reset my password on the PC today. Typed chicken. PC said, at least one capital is required. I typed chicken Kiev. Okay, so we're grand. There's no double over of my voice. One of my voice is enough, I think. The other one would just be, well, it's over the top, isn't it? I don't think they'd like it. So let's have a look. We're going to do a full 90-degree turn to our right-hand side. Just to take in some of this... is this place known, I think, as the Garden of Ireland? Am I right in saying that, or wrong? Could be wrong. Sure, look, there'd be nothing new there, lads. Hayden Darty says, speaking of 172s, I saw two of them today. Registration was EIGKN and GCLMA or CLMK. Cool. Where was that, Aidan? Ethan says, Rathanu looks decently modelled. Ryan says, ETA to Burr is going to be about 25 minutes, give or take. So there is really nice scenery here. This would be kind of Glenroe neck of the woods. Joe Blow says, flew in Inverness, Loch Ness, Glasgow last night at sunset. It was stunning. Sweet. Colonel Fork says, I should do a flight to Dunkirk at some point. 100%. I've flown kind of Normandy, and it's not great, to be honest. So, hopefully, there will be an update. Matt says, just reloaded now, all is okay. Cool. Well, at least we all now know, when Murphy decides to stream and the stream stops, he will be back at some stage. Mightn't be straight away now, but he will get back. Aidan says, I'm up here in East Galway, a few miles north of Lochray. Ah, very good. Quesadilla says, sunset flying is superb. Colonel Fork says, they covered the Normandy beaches. I was sad. We'll see how Dunkirk looks. Not only did they cover the beaches, they covered Coville, which is insanely strange considering that is a massive cemetery. But give it time, I'm sure they're going to work in the area. If not, most definitely a third party will. Okay, another right turn, 90 degrees. It is nice here. Beautiful scenery. L Wooden 100 has just subscribed, or is it I Wooden 100? Either way, Wooden 100, you're very welcome, and many thanks for subscribing. Happy Wednesday, dude. So hope you guys are enjoying the scenery here. Wicklow itself is very much stunning. Anywhere from kind of Glendalough, which is steeped in all sorts of history. Newtown Mount Kennedy, Rathnew, Wicklow Town. Real nice. Blessington, of course. Kramer Airlines has just subscribed. Many thanks to you, my dude. I hope you're keeping well, and happy Wednesday. Aidan Darley says, Murph, just curious, have you seen the Irish Air Corps 139 around your area in Tip lately? I surely have. So the Air Corps kind of used the, down this neck of the woods, they kind of used the Silver Mines, the mountain range, as a visual reference turning point. So they tend to kind of take off out of Ball, head down this neck of the woods, get to the Silver Mines, do a U-E, and then come back up again. Ethan Short says, Wicklow has to be one of the most beautiful counties in Ireland. That's probably the most biased thing I've ever said. No, there's some really, really nice places in Wicklow. And it's one of those places that's kind of underrated. Like, not everyone says, come on, we're going to go to Wicklow, it's going to be great. If you were to say that, someone would like kind of just look at you as if, you know, you were that person who broke wind at the back of the hall. Luna says, hi Murph, sadly I won't be joining you today. Have a nice stream, all of you. That's quite okay, my friend. Hopefully we will catch you on the next one. Time Lord Flight is here. He says, hello there, up tip. Well, I'm a blow-in. I'm originally from Dublin. So it has to be up the dubs or go on the kingdom. And thirdly, but not leastly, up tip. Aidan says, interesting. They take off from Athlone and fly to UHG in Galway. From there they land with a medical patient. I see. So as we're rambling up here, the mountain I want to show off is of course the Sugarloaf. We'll have a quick look at that and then we'll hightail it to Burr. Daniel M is here. Good evening to you, Daniel. Happy Wednesday to you, my friend. I hope you're keeping well. You've missed the initial glitch. I went live for a couple of minutes and then I stopped. So this is officially... What was the title? That's very strange. In search of Bantry, rather. However, it does say on Twitch that we're going to Germany. No, it doesn't. We're okay. Ethan says he lives about 2 kilometers north of the Sugarloaf. Nice. So we're a little bit bumpy because we're over all these mountains here. Microsoft Flight Sim does a really good job simulating updrafts and downdrafts and various winds. Jamfior says, well, Burr is a nice place to sit in my 172 and watch the sun come up. Nice one, dude. Sean Dunn is here. He says, well, Murph, what's the crack? Crack is good, my friend. Happy Wednesday to you, Sean. I hope you're keeping well, dude. Quesadilla says, gremlins are out. My PC screen went out on me. Grrr. Yes, they are. It's Wednesday night. It's gremlin night. But fingers crossed. And toes crossed and, well, whatever else you can cross. Maybe light a candle, put it in the window. Let's hope everything's going to be okay. Ryan Beatty says, up the lily whites. My wife would definitely agree with you. But we don't. Quesadilla says, I might burn the house down. Your PC screen went out. The best thing to do is find a remote field, stand in the top left-hand corner of said remote field, and shout really loud. Ethan says, I was up the hill to the right of the Sugarloaf across the M11 today. Cool. Ed Nelly says, do you know how much you have to do a flight lesson in Ireland? It depends really on how long you want. Anywhere from kind of 110 euros to 170 euros. And that ranges from 30 minutes to an hour. Obviously some of the bigger clubs is going to be a little bit more expensive, but Aidan, if you're over in the Galway direction, I would recommend Burr. They're called the Ormond Flying School, and they recently got their hands on a newer 172. And yeah, it's a nice chilled out, relaxed airfield, and the staff there are really nice. Aviation Mode is here. Good evening. Ethan says, I think I can see my gaff. And he says there's too many trees on the Sugarloaf. Yeah, they're a lot smaller than that. So that's the Sugarloaf. We're kind of approaching Dublin, so we're going to jump back onto our nav mode, for which we'll make a sharp left-hand turn. Joseph Adrian says, do a barrel roll. Dude, I'm in a Cessna, I'd get dizzy, or knowing my luck, I'd fall out of it. Even though it's only virtual, I'd still fall out of it. Jam says, that's some good looking loaf. Look to the right really quick. Ah! There we go. The Mexican is here. He says, just got the game and I like this sim a lot. I have a lot to learn. That's good, dude. I hope you get a lot of enjoyment out of it. It is pretty awesome. Skyfly Brian has said, I've eaten my food and will join you shortly. Cool. Andrew Noble is here. He says, hello, Mr. Murphy. Hello, Mr. Noble. He says, did you have stream demons again? Yes, yes, I did. And they're gone now. And let's hope they stay gone. As we're going to continue on our little flight here, we need to join back up with this magenta line. And we're heading to Burr. Ashok Krishnan Claveris is here. He says hi. Hello Ashok, how are you? Happy Wednesday, and you're very welcome along. There's a hill near there and it's called War Hill. I wonder how it got the name. Colonel, Ireland is absolutely steeped in all sorts of historic battles. Now you're talking way, way, way back. But essentially the entire island was made up of various clans and tribes. And they'd go at it, you know, they'd have the crack, and you'd have all different sorts of kings and high kings and lords, well not really lords, but you know. So there's so many famous battle sites in Ireland, and then a lot of the areas would have been invaded again. One of the most significant, that being of the Viking invasions, in which they had the crack altogether, but they either got persuaded by the Irish or we tired them out, one or the other, but they kind of liked the place and they said, you know, well they didn't say you know, they were Danish or Nordic or they spoke a different, anyone do a Viking accent? But anyway, they liked the place and they said, ah sure, look, it will stay here, sure, you Irish lads are mighty crack, and that's what they did. Aidan says, Murphy's history lessons. Yes, write them down, I will be asking questions later. But yeah, so there are so many battlefields. So Glendalough is well, that's steeped in history, apart from all the monasteries and whatnot you have up this neck of the woods, but in particular from the Vikings. And as you travel more coming inland, we'll probably pass it, I think, on our way to Burr, or very close to it. There's a rock, and it's called the Rock of Dunamaze. And the Rock of Dunamaze is basically, it was like a fortress built on top of a dun, D-U-N. And dun is the old Celtic word, or Gaelic word, for fort. And we have a whole load of these called ring forts. Hang on now. There are literally thousands of ring forts dotting Ireland, and it's the very same in northern France. That's probably one just there. So a ring fort is an ancient settlement whereby obviously they would build kind of like an embankment around where they lived. So they'd farm the lands or whatever, but they'd then protect themselves with a fort. And there are literally thousands of these things dotted all over the Irish countryside, which is cool. The Buzz is here. He says, hey, Captain Murphy, have you found Bantry yet? Not yet. We're only on our way to Burr, then we'll open it up to multiplayer. We're heading out to the Aran Islands, and then we're heading to Bantry. We have a night of work ahead of us. Hence, we're keeping our speed to the max. So we're about 27 minutes away from Burr, but we won't delay. So let's see what we can do here. Care85 is here. Good evening to you. He says, evening, sir. Happy Wednesday, dude. The Mexican says, I got my scotch ready. I approve. Scott Voigt says, hadn't been to that part of Ireland yet. Yeah, it is really nice over, and like it's as I said, it's kind of a hidden gem. It's not really advertised, but as you can see, like the Wicklow Mountains are absolutely stunning. Various lakes and that's kind of Glendalough neck of the woods there, isn't it? I think. But they're really, really nice, and like for the most part, like, okay, the army have a couple of ranges up here, so there's some areas that you can't mope around. But anywhere from kind of Kilpetter and what's it called? I was going to say Kilcool. It's not Kilcool. What's it called? It's like Strannahealy Woods and the Glen of Amal and all that good stuff. Really, really nice. And there's a big mountain up there called Table Mountain, and that's not fun to run up when you have a full pack. But anyway, Joseph Adrian says, buy Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? It is definitely worth it. It's fantastic, and you can get it on the Xbox Game Pass for I think a couple of euros a month. Jeffrey Bennett is here as well. Good evening to you, Jeffrey. I hope you're keeping well, dude. Gabriel Dillon says, being an unemployed coach driver guide at present, there isn't a part of Ireland that isn't beautiful and steeped in history. I agree, Gabriel. I absolutely agree. Coach driver, that must have been fun, dude. Colonel Fork says, I love learning history. Dude, there is so much in Ireland, like, it's ridiculous. Philly Roach says, the beer was cheaper. Maybe someday we should all go over the Pacific Ocean on a search for Amelia Earhart. Ryan, there's every chance I'd be lost. Ethan Short says, that's Loch Dan to the left. Ah, Loch Dan. I remember that. I did all off-road driving up here as well. It's great fun. Aidan says, are you near where Jerry Humphreys keeps his flying cow plane? EI Hum. I don't know. I thought it was the Open University for a minute, says the Buzz. Skyfly says, when I join you, I'll be flying a little microlight made by P&M because I've not flown one in real life and I like it a lot. Is that one of the ones from FSX, I wonder? We shall see. Jeffrey Bennett says, hey Murph, have you time to answer a question for me? Go for it, Jeffrey. Papa Joe B says, Killian's red in a tall chilled glass looks really good right now. I approve. Ethan Short says, Juice Woods and Mountain is nice. The Game Pass is £1 for the first month and then $3.99 per month thereafter. Declan Kelly says, a standard version any good? Yes, Declan, it is. Like with the dearer one, the Premium Deluxe, you get a handful of more aircraft and a handful of more handcrafted airports. But my advice, if you're only new to Flight Sim, I would definitely recommend the standard edition first and see what happens. Skyfly says, I only had the standard version and it's brilliant, but I might upgrade to get the other aircraft. Yeah, absolutely, dude. Colonel Fork says, I'm going to book the Historic Ireland tour with Murphy as soon as I'm able. Colonel, you're more than welcome to travel over to our humble island here, but prepare your liver. There will be drink. There will be many beverages on our historic tour. I've never seen so many microbreweries open up in a country, ever. Andy Henderson says, studying Scots Gaelic myself, which is derived from ancient Irish, as you would expect, there's lots of crossover. Lots of place names are all replicated, etc. 100% Andy. So with Ireland, I think all the names, but pretty much all of the names of the counties and towns and villages, they've all been anglicised, whereby, you know, the original name was kind of crossed over to kind of an English derivative and whatnot. But then you have other places like Dungarvan and Wexford and Waterford. So they say Waterford was like, it's Water Fjord, you know. They were Viking towns, including Newcastle, and Newcastle in County Dublin, I believe. Andy Murphy is here. Made it. Howdy. Hello, Andy Murphy. Aidan Daly says, Murphy, I swear, waiting for an aircraft to see up here is like waiting to win the lotto. Hey again, brother, says Selects the Tire. Hello, my dude. Declan Kelly says, ever watch Premier One Driver? Yeah, I surely do. Fantastic YouTuber. He flies a Premier One private jet. Pretty cool. Andy Beeston UK is here. Hello, Andy. Happy Wednesday, dude. Patrick Cullen says, Murph, a history tour of Microsoft Flight Sim will be a great series. You seem to know a lot about different locations. I don't think I could. I'd probably manage a place and I'd know very little about each place, and that's kind of a good thing, because with Ireland, you know, with any county or any town you visit here, you know, there's so much information about it. Like, I live in a place and there's over 1,000 years of history, and like, it depends. Well, look, it depends, but like, there's so many timelines here in Ireland where we're actually incredibly lucky, because we have a lot of history here, going all the way back to the early days, you know, from Newgrange, and, you know, you have the whole High King of Ireland saga, Clonmacnoise, or Clonmacnoise, which was the centre of the well, it was one of the epicenters of Christianity back in the Dark Ages. It was more important to Christianity than Rome was once upon a time. And then, you know, you've more religious stuff with the Book of Kells and all this kind of stuff, but there's been a lot of wars. Brian Brew and the like, and, you know, Flan Sinna and whatnot. There's a really good podcast. I'll try and dig it out for you. There's a really good podcast all to do with the history of Ireland, and it starts like at year not zero, and it works its way up and along. Absolutely fascinating. But yes, it's pretty cool. Daza T Arab is here. Evening, Murph, and all. Good evening to you, Daza. Hope you're keeping well. Sean Murray asks, do you think the Xbox version will be better? Yeah, I wouldn't say better. But then again, I don't know. You could find that a console version could be more optimized. Perhaps. Billy says, up to Desi. Jam Fjord says, there's a crowd of us waiting at Burr. Good stuff. See the sights. Andy Henderson says, same here, yes. Scandi influence. When they ran the aggressive import, export and breeding programs, all of Scotland's cities have Gaelic names. They are just anglicised, as you say. Yeah, it's fascinating. Aidan Darty says, Murphy, I agree, and also Ireland had Spitfires, which was cool. I do believe Ireland was one of the last countries in the world, or the last militaries in the world, to utilise the Spitfire, the Supermarine Spitfire, and they also had Seafires as well. Billy says, console will be limiting, but guaranteed performance. Yeah, probably. Colonel Fork says, Ireland looks so beautiful. It is a nice owl spot. It really is. And if you get the weather, it's phenomenal. It's really, really nice. Billy Road says, I thought you could throw a stone from Wicklow to Burr. My geography is a bit off. Yeah, it's a bit of a trek, this one. So you're pretty much flying. Burr is in the centre of the Republic, and I think Athlone is in the centre of the island. Yeah, but like you have the imaginary but not very border kind of area here, which separates the north from the south. We won't get political. We're all Irish in my view. It doesn't matter what doctrine you apply it to, but we're all from the one island and we all get on. But I think Burr would be very much centred to the centre of the Republic, and Athlone is probably more of the island. So we're more than kind of halfway there. So as we look at our map, we can see we have Baldonnel control, which there are a number of restrictions, but we're not going to worry about that today because we're not flying on a network. We also then have Shannon control, which controls Cork and a little bit of Waterford as well. And then we have Dublin's main area of influence. Then we have a little bit up in Knock or Connacht, a little bit in Sligo, a little bit in Donegal. So I do implore you guys, if you're new to flight simulation, start reading up on VATSIM or Pilot Edge. I find them both to be hugely resourceful when it comes to teaching you stuff, because there's more to flight simulation, of course, than just hopping in a plane and going sightseeing, even though that's what we're doing today. Once you include the air traffic control, it's absolutely epic. Raymond Greeny is here. He said, what's the flight plan today? So we're going Newcastle Burr, Burr over to Inishmaan, and Inishmaan to see if we can find Bantry. That's the plan. It could be good, it could be horrid, but we shall see. Ivan is here. Good evening to you. He says, I bought the standard edition via Game Pass as I was unsure how it would play on my PC. It works too well as I keep crashing at Sedona. Gabriel says, I'd break it if I take talking on VATSIM. Well, Andy Shaw says, I tried VATSIM today. Sweet. One of the controllers is actually in here in the chat tonight, guys. Daniel Mills is here, and he helped me the other day when I was flying into Shannon. And yes, it can be somewhat terrifying when you need to talk on the channel for the first time. VATSIM is, in my own opinion, a little bit more patient with you. Pilot Edge that's a paid network. Time is money, I suppose, and you know there's a higher level, if you like, of realism. Therefore, they don't really have a lot of time for newbies coming in who haven't read the manual. VATSIM, however, is very applicable. It encourages new people coming onto the network, and it's a load of fun. So my advice to you, in VATSIM, and I'm going to do it here in the channel, and we'll organise a group flight, and we'll take it real slow, real slow. And what we'll do, we'll try and get a couple of controllers at a couple of small airfields somewhere way out in the west of Ireland with no other traffic to worry about, and we'll try and get each of you guys, we'll tell you what to say and how to say it, and you guys just repeat it. And once you do that a couple of times, just keep repeating the same type of flight. You know, you could be flying at 1,500 feet from, say, Burr, and you're going to head west over to Shannon. You can contact Shannon, tell them who you are, where you are, and what your intentions are. And everything else is going to be pretty much grand. We can talk about it beforehand. The controller, hopefully, will be able to tell us, listen, guys, if you're flying in from this area, I'm going to direct you to this area. And you can also kind of private chat with them in VATSIM as well, where you send them a message, say, listen, can I do this? I'm new here, a little bit nervous. Give me a helping hand, and they absolutely will. Now, if they're very, very busy and they have a lot of traffic, they'll tell you straight up, listen, we're busy, can't do a whole lot. But as nervous or as anxious you might be to try ATC, it will change your experience with any flight sim in such a good way. Like, it changes the laws of everything. And you can still always jump back in and just go for a nice handy flight just to calm everything down again. But once you're in the air and you're able to talk to VATSIM, once you can talk to a controller and they talk back to you, you're so immersed. It's no longer a game. It's no longer a thing. Like, you forget that you're even sitting in a room. You're in the plane now, and you're trying to figure out, where do we go? And yeah, there's going to be a little bit of homework you might have to do, but there's plenty of videos. If you guys aren't one for reading, just watch a couple of videos. You will pick it up. So it'll be awesome. Aidan says, the Irish Coast Guard S92 from Shannon goes a lot up to the Aran Islands. Cool. Jeffrey Bennett says, I'll ask again, Murph. I have everything live on my sim. I can see the airplane's call sign, but I can't see the aircraft itself. Just the call letters. Jeffrey, it would depend on their range from you. So, if you spawn right beside another aircraft, you should see the aircraft. If you spawn and you can only see like a nameplate and no aircraft, they're probably very far away. Failing that, there are two settings you can look at. Let's jump in here, shall we? If you go down into traffic, you have aircraft type, or aircraft traffic type. So if you're in multiplayer, you'll see it. Make sure if you're using AI traffic or the real world is turned on. Now there's another yoke. What was the button I'm looking for? Was it down here? No. Here? No. Here? No. Here? No. Graphics? Oh yeah. Down here. Use generic plane models for AI traffic and use generic plane models for multiplayer. Change these settings to see if it makes any difference. So try one, try the other, and then see what happens. It might work. Ty Venture is here. He says, Bantry Bay, I love that place. It's really nice. Billy Road says, so I'll be up in Newcastle playing golf in Druids Glen on Saturday. Phil Hogan won't be there. Are you sure? Colonel Fork says, the 3 parts of radio. Who are you? Where are you? And what are you doing? That's pretty much it. Bad Dog says, that's a good idea. Jam says, ATC is very intimidating at first, but it quickly becomes predictable. It really does. Billy says, yeah, for sure. Rallier Ballier is here. Float Dublin, pal. Billy says, what I did was sit at the airport and listen to everyone else for a day and made some notes. Yeah, 100%. Now, Dazza also put up a tutorial video over on Discord. If you guys want to check out the Discord. I've just put it in there now. And it's a program called Pilot to ATC. Basically, it's an offline autopilot program whereby the computer speaks to you and you speak back to the computer. And it's one easier way, I suppose, of learning what to do. Mac Orchard is here. Hello, sir. Murphy, how are you? Very good, Mac. Good evening to you. Happy Wednesday, dude. Bad Dog says, can you get barred from ATC for not knowing what you were doing? It depends. Like, if you're doing something stupid and if you're like disobeying their instructions, they can, yeah, they can. And like, it's not a place to act the maggot. You have to be well behaved. Jeffrey Bennett says, okay, thanks a lot, Murph. I'll do that now. Really, thanks. No problem, my dude. Mike is here. Good evening to you, Mike. Happy Wednesday to you. I hope you're keeping well. We are 10 minutes away from Burr as we're approaching the Slieve Bloom Mountains. Now, all me talking, these 3 mountains over here, I think, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am wrong. You have over here, hang on, Murph, where are you? It looks like that's Portlaoise. So that's Portlaoise. So you have the Rock of Dunamaze is up here. If you Google that, okay, I'll spell Dunamaze. Rock of Dunamaze. Colonel Fork, if you want to read up on that, that's not very far from my location at all. It's only 15-20 minutes. Well, it's about 20 minutes. That place is steeped in history. Mac says, I'm from Australia, but I live in the UK. That's okay, Mac. We won't hold it against you. But cool, dude. Are you working or living there, or are you studying? Jamote says, VATSIM or Murphy Stream. The rule is act nice and all will be well. I agree. Cloverfield 911 is here. He says, good evening. Where are we today? We're in Ireland. After taking off from Newcastle in County Wicklow, we're heading across the country to land at Burr, County Offaly. We're then going to open it up to multiplayer once we get to Burr. And then we're going to fly over to one of the Aran Islands, do a landing challenge, and then we're going to hightail it south down to Bantry in County Cork to see if we can locate Bantry Airport, because it's not officially in the sim. Or is it? Stay tuned for more. Max says, I am a year 10 student. Nice, dude. Thai Venture says, where's the nearest airport to Bantry? I normally fly to Cork and then drive westwards. It's either going to be Cork, I think there's one in Skibbereen, or Kerry, and just kind of head south. Billy Road says, hills, not mountains. Yeah, well, they're mountains when you have to walk up them, dude. Oh, they are for me anyway. You may consider them you might even consider them like a small mound of dirt. That'd be Everest to poor Al Murphy. Keane Lafford is here. He goes, how's she cut Murph? Just joined now. Colonel Fork says, how do you pronounce leash? So it's pronounced leash. Leash. How do you do it? Leash. I suppose like that. Leash. Yeah. Oh, we have some mad names. Places like Knocknagoshel or Thurman Feckin. So as we continue on over the Slieve Bloom Mountains, which are really nice, once you cross over these guys, we're going to see the town of Burr. Mike Bowman says, the Irish are a very friendly people, I think. That's a nice thing to say, Mike. Many thanks for your kind words. Every country has the select few who are like dopes and muppets, but the vast majority of us are sound. Mike, I see what you did there and I like it. But I can't repeat it. Ryan asks, does Microsoft Flight Sim support ray tracing yet? No, I don't believe so. Max says, there's a place where I used to live in Perth called Cockburn, pronounced Coburn. I would never pronounce it Coburn. If I lived there, I would be so happy to call it the former. Warren wants to know, can we head up by Roscommon? We won't tonight, but I'll write it down and we'll go there soon. We have a Fort Michilimackinac and Charlevoix, or Charlie. Oh, holy humbugs, how do we do this one? I'll leave that to your very capable hands, Colonel Fork. Lots of French names in Michigan. Ah. Try an American pronouncing Quavine in the Oscars. Yeah, or Saoirse. Or Tig. Colonel Fork says French and Ojive or Ojviv. See, I'm struggling with that, dude. Zektek says, speak for yourself, Murph. I am not sound in body, mind, or politeness. Well, Zektek, that's okay. You can be exactly who it is you wish to be. I'm okay with that. Jibway, oh Jibway. I like it, Colonel Fork. I've just learned how to say a new word. Oh Jibway. The vocabulary of Murphy is extending. Lucy Marshall is here. Good evening to you, Lucy. Hey, left a like. Where have we flown so far? So we've taken off from Newcastle in County Wicklow. We're now approaching Burr, County Offaly. We're going to land here, turn on our old multiplayer, and then we're going to head over to the Aran Islands, and then we're going to head south down to Bantry. Gop Slayer is here. Good evening to you, Gop. Happy Wednesday to you, dude. Andy Henderson says, planning any flights in Scotland? I'd love to give you a tour. 100% Andy. I wanted to go from Inverness over to Stornoway. So I might do something up that neck of the woods soon. Daniel M says, you know the tweet of the possible storm I sent you over last weekend, Murph? Daniel, would you believe I've been trying to follow it, but I don't think it's going to materialise. Keane Lafford says, 251 days till Eurovision. Lucy says, nice, I am from Limerick, as I said before. Indeed. Good evening to Limerick. Okay. Danger close. We're very close. So we should have kind of Ross Gray, Kinnity over this neck of the woods, and then we're going to have Burr. So, autopilot coming off. Bring our throttles back. We're going to make a right turn because I want to fly in over Burr, and we'll use the industrial estates of Singfield as our reference point for the runway. So we'll fly over the bog here. Tom says, I am really? I am ready and waiting on your arrival. That made more sense. Colonel Fork says, I'll have to do a flight tour with you and the Air Corps one of these days over some of these Michigan places. 100%, dude. They say in Bantry, just land on the road. It'll be grand. Sure, it'll be grand. If the airport isn't down there, we're going to make one. And that's what's going to happen. So, the town of Burr. It's a nice little town, this. There are some decent eateries and pubs in this neck of the woods. They have a lovely park. There's an old barracks, actually, right beside the runway. Or the airfield. Watch your old descent here, Murphy. The ears are popping like you wouldn't believe. As Nick Herbert has just subscribed. Many thanks, Nick. Happy... What day are we? Happy... I nearly said Saturday. That's the sort of day I'm having. Lucy says, we have a bus here from Limerick to Burr. Nice. Captain Frank is here. Good evening to you. Gabriel Lynn says, such a nice gang who watch and participate in these streams. I agree. We're very lucky. We have a very nice community, for want of a better word, but you guys are, I suppose, part of this community. You are the community. You make it what it is, and I'm delighted to be sharing Monday, Wednesday and Friday evenings with you, and the odd Saturday stream. Kieran Niall is here. When I'm going to fly New York, the flight simulator goes out to War. You have to log into your PC after about 2 hours. Is that a bug? I have heard that the sim kind of stops after kind of 2 hours continuous flying, yes. Now, I don't know how much of a bug it is, but I have heard of it. You're not the only one. Good man, Murph. Completely overshoot the runway here. Burr also has a big old castle in it, and you can go in and walk around the grounds. And here's a factoid for you. The world's largest telescope was once at Burr Castle. So there's something you didn't know. And for years it was parked on a semi-trailer out the road, and people drove past it going, what's that thing? Geek Burnley says, we like being here with you. Billy Rose says, no way, pineapple on pizza. Keen Laffer says, does pineapple belong on pizza? You've asked that before, Keen, and I made it abundantly clear. You must have pineapple on a pizza. It was invented for that. Ty says, big up the Brick Oven restaurant in Bantry. Oh yeah. Murph, you mean Deloira and Ixira? I surely do, Gabriel. Lucy says, I wish I had an Xbox now since I want it on console. I don't have a PS4. Well, sure, listen, Lucy, who knows what Santa will bring this Christmas? Murph, you're making an absolute cat's meow with this, but we're okay. The simulated horror. That factory here on our left hand side make boilers, kerosene boilers to be precise. Okay, this is going to be sporty. So the layout of Burr is actually pretty much spot on. There's a bit of a hill there that I don't agree with, but the clubhouse is kind of ish right. Now, Murph, are you going to be able to park this? Probably not. Probably not. Most definitely not. We'll do a very quick circuit. A hot dog on a bun is a sandwich. Billy Roach says, I was there last year. Amazing. Cloverfield says, is Burr Castle in the sim? I don't know. Let's have a quick look. Billy says, Santa Claus will be bringing this happy boy an RTX 3080. Sweet. Billy Roach says, Santa is cancelled due to COVID. Nah, he'll figure it out. Don't worry, Philly. He'll figure it out. Lucy says, lol, I'm 23, nearly in November, the 27th. I'll be 23 and hope to go to Belfast for my birthday weekend. Nice. Belfast is great fun. Great spot to go out in. Aidan says, Murphy, you're coming in way too fast. Yes. Ty says, nice go around. Yes. It was a well-executed disaster. So, let's see here now, shall we? So there's the field to our right-hand side. Burr Castle is over here on our left-hand side. If we follow that kind of river, stream kind of a thing, that's a river. So you have the football grounds, and there's a subway across the road from them football grounds. I'm only saying, like, it's if you wanted a subway, you can get one. As in the sandwich, not the metro. Billy says, it was intended to be a flight past. Yes, it was. SK Sun says, 100 knots on short final onto short grass strip. What could go wrong? I'm telling you. So Burr Castle should be kind of underneath us nearly. I'm going to say here. That's Burr Castle. So they haven't modelled it exactly, but it is built on like an old fortification. But in there was the world's largest telescope. So there. Geek Burnley says X-Plane 1150 has gone final. Nice. Must definitely check that one out. Okay, let's see if we can do this now without making a complete and utter pig's ear out of it. There's another ring fort. Just there, look. The country is full of them. There's the mouse. Down here, look. Now, speaking of things to see. Okay, Murph, best behaviour now. We have a landing to make. We're still a little bit high, but the speed is looking a bit better. Lots of flaps here. $1,300 feet. We should be pretty at 700 feet, but it's grand. I can fix this. I'm going to use science. And by science, I mean I'm going to cheat. So, get our speed down. Flaps are now deployed, and we should hopefully just kind of gently float in. There's 900 feet. Still a bit high. Speed is okay though. This is, I don't know, like Burr Airfield do have a couple of fly-ins every year, and they do like a kind of a bit of an air show as well. Like I've seen this place jammed with aircraft. Okay, easy does it. The trees are actually here. This is accurate. And there are cows in this field from time to time, which is also accurate. Okay, Murph. Mind a bit of a hill. There's touchdown on the back. And there's touchdown on the front. Okay, that was a little bit better. Welcome to Burr, County Offaly. Lucy says, I still have flight sim on my laptop, but using it now watching your stream. Nice. Get ourselves turned around here. Okay, so the hill here is like, it's a little bit too much. There's not a hill like that. This is all kind of level and there's like a wooden fence, but like it's not terrible. It's just, it's a little bit different. And then you have the Ormond Flying School over here. There is a hangar there, but you wouldn't put cars there. But it's not a million miles off. A couple of thousand, but it's not a million. Okay, let's not waste time here, shall we? Turn these guys off. Avionics off. Cut the mixture. And our battery's off. Cool, we're in Burr. Watch out for the cows. Butter on Brennan's bread. It was a nice landing. Okay. Time for multiplayer. So we go to the main menu. And then we go to this button here. Hi, I'm this size. Let's see how we go, shall we? Now I'm going to quit the sim, because I have noticed a new bug. When you're flying with autopilot and you disengage the autopilot, the trim button doesn't work, which is hugely frustrating. So we shall see. Ah, a tasty beverage. Okay, so this airport we're going to be taking off from, if you guys want to join in, don't forget we will be on the North Europe server. It's going to be Echo India Bravo November, Burr, B-I-R-R. From Burr we're going to head over to the Aran Islands, which are in the far west of Ireland, and we're going to land on Inishmaan, which will be Echo India Mike November. And that should be cool, I hope. Andrew Noble says, it's a pity about the replay, I agree. Hopefully soon it'll be implemented though. Sooner rather than later. Ryan Plays is here, he says, just waiting for Microsoft Flight Sim on the Series X to come. 100%. Angela Hort is here. Hello, Angela. You're very kind. Alvaro says, your website says you make podcasts. Which one do you do? Greetings from Cork. My website says a lot of things. No, I was going to get into podcasts. I intend to do a podcast. But I find I do too much talking during my live streams. I'm left with very little to say. Ed E is here. Hi all, love this sim. Lucy says, I found my iPhone 6S and still in that Apple logo in repeat. Lucky, I have Samsung Galaxy A20. Ty says, is there no replay on Flight Sim 2020? Not yet. Karen Niles says, Inishmaan is fantastic. I was there 1 month ago. Cool. The Aran Islands, again, if you get the weather, they're spectacular. They're all really nice. As our music continues. But yeah, podcasting. I was thinking of doing podcasting. But I don't know yet. We shall see. Refill our little drink. Alrighty, so what are we doing here, Murph? That's okay. Into here. Oh, there's some people. There's a lot of people on the ground in Burr at the minute. Vinny RN07 has just subscribed. Many thanks, Vinny. Happy Wednesday, dude. I do hope you're keeping well this evening. Okay, so we said we're going over to Inishmaan. Yeah, I am, man. Let's see. Bear with me as I set up this machine here. We can do it. Yeah, that's about right. I hate that. I just missed a whatchamacallit. One of them. Angela has just subscribed. Many thanks, Angela. I almost missed you. It was almost a disaster. But we're okay. Now, I just want to make sure all my settings is right. Do you know what I mean? Aircraft selection, yes. Weight and balance. About there. ATC options, we're going to go with something different. Just because. So I'm on the North Europe server. Just so you guys know the story. All players, preset, done, and done. Okay. Walton is here. Good evening, Waltons. Evening, Murphy says. Navigraph beta available for some Microsoft Flight Sim. Yes, I can confirm to that. I've been messing around on it. Lucy says, I'm going to see if I can get Flight Sim to work. Hopefully I'll be back. If not, take care and stay safe. Bye all. Much love from Limerick. Many thanks, Lucy. Hopefully you can fly with us. If not, we'll catch you the next time. Philip Breen says, what aircraft? I'm going for the old reliable. The Cessna 172. Eno Dunman asks, what yoke are you using, Murph? I use the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog, so it's a joystick. HOTAS, of course, means hands on throttle and stick, in case you didn't already know. Ali says, shout me out, please. Hello, Ali. Good evening to you, and welcome aboard. Billy Roach says, I is here. Okay, let's hope there's no... Parking brake, please. Let's hope there are no demons. It's a night of demons, isn't it? Okay, so we do have some peoples here. Okay, let's see what happens here, shall we? This will either go well or really well. Ali says, good evening, your channel is great, much love. Many thanks, Ali. Happy Wednesday to you, dude. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying it. So what have we got here? We have a number of Cessnas, including kind of liveries and other stuff. We have a TBM with someone else in it, TBM. That's not disturbing at all. And we've loads of people. Okay, so we know the deal. You guys start taxiing out. I'm going to get this airplane started. We're going to ramble over to one of the Aran Islands. 6 Knots has just subscribed. Many thanks, 6 Knots. Happy Wednesday, dude. Look at the poor old wretch. Would you look at him? The poor old devil is down the hill. But once we get to the Aran Islands, I'll land first and then record you crazy lot coming in. Yes, that's what's going to happen. So, in quick kind of things, parking brake is on, fuel shut-off valve goes to in, mixture goes in, this goes in. I hope the frames behave themselves. Jam says, hello mum, I'm on the TV. Mr. Chippy is here. He says, I downloaded Tivat Airport scenery and Montenegro off SimMarket yesterday. It's payware, but I would highly recommend it. Some stunning scenery. Nice, dude. I will definitely check that one out. As we get our beacon and nav lights on here now, fuel pump will come on. Open our throttle here about 1/8 of an inch. Positive read. That's all good. Clear prop. Good start on our engine. Keep the RPMs down here a little. Get some avionics on. With that, we can turn on the rest of our lights. This is all good. Speaking of lights, get some dashboard lights here just to kind of brighten up the place. That looks better. Heading indicator and altimeter needs to be bugged, which they are. Alias, what is the name of your aircraft, please? This is the Cessna 172 Skyhawk. Pardon me. Modern Tornado 81 is here. Good evening to you, sir. Happy Wednesday. So let us see. We don't want to be in nav, or no, we want to go for GPS mode. So quick look at our little map here. Now, why didn't that load in? That's all terribly wrong. Flight plan. Why did it do that now? That's really strange. But we fear not, we'll sort it. Echo, come back to me. India. Mike. Bally's Grove and Maynooth. What I say. November, we're looking for, there we go. Inishmaan. Enter doesn't work. Down, down, activate. Yes, no. Activate, enter. There we go, that's alive. Now if you look at our VFR map, here we be. So that's where we're heading out to next. So that's all looking good. Ali says, do I want to be a pilot? Yes, I would very much like that in the future. Did you check Discord? May get in touch with a Def Double expert. KC85. Cool. Did someone just get me a sub? If they did, thanks very much. Let's check it out, shall we? Let us see, let us see, let us see, let us see, let us see. I can't see. So somebody did a something. Well, thank you very much for the something. Because I can't see it on Twitch either, so hang on, wait now. The Colonel Fork has donated a tier 1 sub to 6 Knots. Colonel Fork, thank you very much, my dude. I really appreciate it. Oh. We didn't mix that one right. Annalisa is here. You'd make a brilliant pilot, says Annalisa. Well, thank you very much. Clearly you haven't flown with me. But it's grand. Right, that looks grand now. Enough of the kind of, oh yeah, altitude. Oh man, I thought my sim crashed there. That was terrifying. Transponder is coming on. It is a little bit glitchy. We have a lot of traffic, but fear not. Oh, rip. Okay, we'll go this way. Come on up the hill here now, Murph. Drive it on there now as a good fella. That's just odd. Wait, what? It's like... it's camouflage. Okay, guys, ready when you are. Depart when ready. And let's get this show on the road, shall we? Water Tornado says good night. Need to go to bed. We'll see you the next time. Right, lads, Langeroy, Ara, Marshall. Mr. Chippy says, where are we currently? We are in Echo India Bravo Romeo, Burr Airfield in County Offaly. It's a total gridlock. What appears to be the holdup? There we go, there's life. Haha. There's lots of planes tonight. Daniel Mills is probably looking at the screen going, do I really want this in VATSIM? Be careful what you wish for. Okay guys, let's go. We're doing well. Everyone's waiting for me to go first. No, you guys go first. I'll catch up with you, don't worry. It'll be grand. Okay, maybe I'll go now. Okay, squawk is squawking. Lights are on. One notch of flaps, please. I'll go behind this Cessna. Mind the yell bump here, Murph. Cool. Ali says, thank you for a fantastic evening. My pleasure, dude. The VATSIM controller would help greatly with the sequencing and order. He would. But I'd fear he'd have to retire like immediately afterwards. Keen is heading to the Lavy. That's okay, Keen. Okay. Let's boogie. Don't mind us, we'll just kind of skip by you there, but that's okay. Oh god, it's just pandemonium, but that's okay. 40 knots. There's 60 knots. Rotate. D1 Scalio 03 is now following. Many thanks, my dude. Happy Wednesday to you. We get a bit of altitude here as we're flying towards kind of Roscrea, Templemore, Thurles direction. And then it'll be over to the left-hand side.
Hey, good morning.
As production... Oh, hang on. Production Sa has just subscribed. Many thanks, my dude. Bring our flaps in here now as well. It's a very popular airport. It absolutely is. I'm just going to circle around, gain a bit of altitude, pick up the posse, and then we're going to head over to the west. But yeah, flying in Burr, I have to say, if you guys get the opportunity to come down here, talk to the Ormond Flying School. They have a Cessna 172 and a Eurostar, I think. And Kit is here. Good evening to you, and Kit. Production Sa says, or Production Sa, Knocknaheeny. We're a long way from Knocknaheeny, I'm afraid. If you check out on YouTube, there is a couple of videos where I've flown over Cork, and you can see Knocknaheeny on it. If I'm right in saying, is Knocknaheeny up kind of the hill there behind the Apple place? Andy Shaw says there was talk of a bigger airport in the Midlands one time. There still is. There's talk of Athlone, which would be interesting. So, autopilot, you're up. We're going to go AP mode. We're going to go nav mode. Altitude, we're going to set for 3,000 feet. And we're going to climb at 500 feet per minute. All is looking well. Make sure our heading and altitude indicators are zeroed or synced. We'll fly on this heading for the moment. TM is here, just arrived now. Whereabouts are we? Just taken off from Burr, Echo India Bravo Romeo, which is in County Offaly here in Ireland. And we're going to head out to the west. Productions A says, yeah, by Gurnabraher Church in Churchfield. Aha, yes, yes, yes. I know my places. Well, I kind of know my places. Get some lightage going on. So we'll keep our climb power until we get to about 3,000 feet, and then we'll start behaving ourselves. Joe Shinkwin is now subscribed. Many thanks, Joe. Happy Wednesday to you, my dude. Ali says, best evening ever. Thank you and bye. Many thanks, Ali. Devesht. Austin pilot Michael is here, also known as Texas 1 Flyboy. It's only 3:45 p.m. here and I'm stuck working, but I'll be following your progress. That's okay, Austin pilot Michael, or Texas 1 Flyboy. Happy Wednesday to you, dude, and don't worry, it must be nearly home time. Kyle D Aviation is here. Good evening to you, Kyle. So yes, let's see what we can do here now with a bit of stuff. Okay, there is more than just these two guys here. There's a whole army of guys approaching. And Kit says, is this game available in VR? Not just yet, but soon. Stuart Duggan says, when you get to Thurles, can we get an external closer view? We're actually not going the Thurles direction, I'm afraid. We're heading to the west. But we'll pick up Thurles the next time, or jump back on YouTube. There is a video. We go on our hunt looking for the Rock of Cashel. And we fly over Thurles. And you can see Semple Stadium and bits and bobs in it. It's quite nice. Scott says, yep, a fine cloudy and rainy day here in North Texas. How are you finding Ireland as a whole in terms of accuracy? Okay, so it's missing a couple of landmarks. As in they have Newgrange done, but like if you go to Dublin, it's a little bit hard to identify the actual buildings. Well, it's not really hard to identify them, but they don't really look very convincing. And I think there's one or two power stations missing up and around the River Shannon. But apart from that, it's very, very good. It's excellent, in fact. Like when I was doing a bit of VFR flying, like you can use a landmark from anything like a big barn or like a mountain or a wind farm, and they all help. Have you flown in the north yet? Yep. Donegal, Enniskillen, Down, Derry, Belfast. So we're going up on 3,000 feet. We're going to work on our mixture here. So bring our revs back a little bit. About 2400 on the RPM is going to be just fine. And we need to lean our mixture rather. Which is about right. Our fuel flow still is a little bit high. $110 knots, 24.5, that's okay. EGT is behaving itself as well. All looks good. We've got a couple of dews up here on our left hand side looking well. So far so good. Ryan says, what airport are we going to? We're going to Echo India Mike November, Inishmaan, over on the Aran Islands. Haji is here asking, does the 172 standard come with the normal package? Unfortunately not. I think you need the premium deluxe or the deluxe, one or the other. Declan Kelly asks, can planes collide in mid-air? No, they can't, which is probably a good thing. Now, I haven't tried it, but like it would be super annoying. If you're doing a group flight, you know, you're always going to get the mad, evil Knievel, kamikaze kind of dude. And he would just like totally ruin the fun. So yeah, it is what it is. Like there's no damage model per se, there's no visual damage. Which I don't know how they're going to implement that. Like third parties might with their own aircraft. But we'll have to wait and see. Production is asking, have you tried the new Coronado plane? Yes, I have, the Cessna 182. It's not bad. It's very loud. I'm not a fan of the audio settings on it. So I think it's definitely due a patch. So this here be the River Shannon, and it forms this loch or lake, which is called Loch Derg. I have been known to frequent Loch Derg many times in a boat. So that's probably like a P51 or an F18, I'd say, because it's absolutely booming. How would an RTX 2060 run? It should go okay. Mal Watt says, Murph, have you flown around the Quiet Man County yet, or country? Yes, I have. I've checked a couple of places just to see, you know, how close they are to real world. So they do have the monastery in Kong modelled, which is interesting. Declan says Loch Ree. No. Loch Ree is further up, I think. Loch Ree is kind of north of Athlone. So this guy here, this is Loch Ree, because you have Athlone. Well, Athlone is pretty much here, and then down here you have Loch Derg. That brings you down kind of past Portumna, Drumineer, Terry Glass is down here as well, and that brings you on out towards Limerick, out by the Shannon Estuary. Andy Henderson says, I've met some folks who say that I'm a dreamer. Sing along. But you're not the only one. So we have a Loch Derg behind us. There's a marina. Cloverfield asks, are you going to fly along the cliffs of Moher? Yeah, we can do, 100%. Production says, pity there wasn't a live map with the town names. If you download Sim Toolkit Pro, that's Sim Toolkit Pro, it's a moving map amongst other things, and you'll see all the place names. And you can put that on your iPad or on a second monitor or whatever. Double Expert says, could you fly in the Lake District at some time? Which one? Ivan says, Two-Tone, do you do fly fishing from your boat? I don't. PJD says, X-Plane will never look like this. Give it time. Like, from this view? Hang on. From this view? You probably wouldn't realise if this was Microsoft Flight Sim or X-Plane, because it's using ortho. Yeah, okay, yeah, the trees are probably a big giveaway. Like, the trees in Microsoft Flight Sim are amazing. X-Plane lacks speed of that guy. X-Plane is lacking severely in the weather and also the lighting model. It's just not the races, but give it time. Ah, Andy was singing the Isle of Inishmaan. Aha. And of course the water, yeah. Kane Never says, do the pyramids of Gaza have the Giza should be have a model, or are they a big pile of sand? No, the pyramids look absolutely fantastic. We're going to head there very soon, maybe Friday. By the way, The intro music that I have. I need to go find it. Bear with me. Where be it? Just that one for a sec. Is it this one? Yeah, this one. So you know this music, yeah? There is a way to dance to this music. So you have to dance doing the moonwalk and doing the walk like an Egyptian thing with your hands whilst moonwalking. That's how you dance to that song. That is the official Two-Tone Murphy dance to the song. You've heard it here first. Colonel Force says, I expect the Sim Toolkit Pro to be payware. Yeah, it's a really nice program. PJD says, I'm lazy tonight, watching, not flying. Abraham Lincoln is here. He says you should go to the White House. So should you, sir. Brad is here as well. He asks, what resolution are you on? This is on 1080 by 1920. Giovanni says, imagine if you could shoot. That'd be pretty cool. Malwell says, are those big brown areas peat bogs? Yes, they are. Abraham Lincoln says, I would like a bomber plane in this game. Okay. Gabriel Dillon says, popcorn at the ready for the Keystone Cops landings. Bad Dog says, hi Murph, have you tried putting the VF4 map on a separate screen such as an iPad? Yes. So if you have an iPad, there's a program called Duet Display, and it basically mirrors your PC screen, and it's really handy. So you could do that, yes. PJD says, how do you like the Bonanza? It's so-so. They need to work on it. Billy Rose says, fly down Big Sur in California. 100%. 6 Knot says, I use a little program called VF4 Map on the MSF add-on site. Runs in your browser and use an open maps for the maps. Sweet. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Stuart Duggan is here. He says, I'm hoping for the Xbox X series there will be a B-17 Flying Fortress. One crashed in Johnstown, Kilkenny in 1944. Sweet. Jam says, so weird, I was just watching you all catching up with me and everyone disappeared. Aww. Pandalicious is here. Good evening to you, Panda. We're on the North Europe server. Benny P says, I see other multiplayers except for you, Murphy. Just make sure you're on the North Europe server, guys. Annalisa says, haha, trying to picture that dance. Don't just picture it. You got to do it. In front of a mirror. Moonwalk and walk like the Egyptians, where you do the Egyptian thing. You know what you're doing. And I know when I'm saying this, you're going to sit there and you're going to do it. I can see you moving your arms. I'm doing it too, don't worry. Does this game have the biggest map in any game? The entire planet is included, yes. Jam says, I noticed you got rid of your camera feed when you gave the dance instructions. But of course. This is a family-orientated stream. Could you go to the Lake District in Cumbria in England, says Double Expert. Yeah, we'll look at it someday, dude. Wolfie is here. My name's Jeff. How are you? Very well, Wolfie. I hope you're keeping well, dude. Keen Leopard asks, do you own any vinyls? I have a few. Kieran Niles says, I'm having a mugshot. No, he's not. I'm having a mug shoot. Patrick Cullen asks, Murphy, what's the IK code for the destination? It is Echo India, Mike November. What real pilots do you follow on YouTube, if any? Asked Philly Roach. I follow Steve Owen Knievel, Stefan Drury, Premier One Driver. Who else? Flight Chops is always good to watch. Plain Ben, the Flying Reporter. All really, really good. And also Squirrel and Catstrader have some real world flying as well. They have a couple of videos up, really interesting. Colonel Fork says, I think we need a demonstration live on stream, Murphy. Hang on, I'll answer this with the most certain answer I can give. Moving on, which wind farm is that? Looks like a big one. I couldn't tell you the name of it though. We're in we're just south of Galway. Would it be kind of Scariff maybe? No, we're not too far from Scariff in the county of Clare. So we're coming over kind of the Burren neck of the woods and the old Kilfenora. This is some nice flying here, chaps. What do you reckon? We're looking very decent. Steady now, you're on camera. Billy says, my guess is the add-on will be PC exclusive and most Xbox games don't usually include mods, etc. Possibly, but a lot of this would use kind of network-based information. So it might work. And Elisa says, I agree, we need a demo. PJD says, fantastic being able to see custom liveries. Flankerski19er is here. Hello there. Can you make a barrel roll and then power off stall? I could, but I'd probably fall out of the plane. No Man's Sky is the biggest map in any game, and even Minecraft has a bigger map than the world, says Double Expert. Fair point, yeah, I'll take that, but most of it is kind of just randomly regenerated, if that makes any sense. This would be the largest kind of true to earth or real map. But in terms of size, yeah, absolutely. Like, I think even the size of, what's it called? Epic something. Epic something? You're being quite specific. Anyway, just one of them games. Six Knot says, are we doing the 3 one-way challenge on each island? They're all in kind of a line-ish. Probably not, we'll just do the one. But let's see how we go. And Lisa says, it's looking good, lads. Sticky Rice, hey guys, this is some fantastic flying. Just in case, here are some empty bottles. Imagine if Murph had an engine failure mid-flight while chatting. Murph probably wouldn't realise until he was on the ground going, oh, what happened? Flagerski19er says, okay, well, where to? We're heading over to the Aran Islands, which are in the west of Ireland, to a place called Inishmaan. And once we land there, we're going to head south and we're going to look for Bantry Airport. Ah, that's the one, Mr. Chippy. It wasn't Epic, it was Elite. Elite Dangerous has the whole universe in it, yeah? Or does it? Yeah, no, I think it does. And a marginal VFR here. There'll be a lot of peoples. Billy Roach is back. Ryan says, how long is the runway where we're going to? Not very long at all. So this area here in the County Clare, it's called the Burren. It's all limestone. So it's all kind of hard rock stone. It's not ice and it's not snow. It's the actual colour of the stone. And it's very beautiful. So there's an area up here called Lisdoon Varna and Ballyvaughan This is County Clare. Really nice area. And there's a place up here somewhere. It's around here, and it's a chocolate factory. And when I say a chocolate factory, it's like proper real chocolate, none of this commercialized stuff. And now you can't eat a whole lot of it; it'll make you sick. But they make by far the best hot chocolate you can get literally anywhere on the planet, and I will challenge you to that. Or maybe it was because it was a really cold day when we were up there and I was hanging for like a hot chocolate. They could have given me Bovril for all I cared, but it was really nice. And it's somewhere up this way. I'll try and get the name for you. I'm telling you, it's worth the drive. Well, apart from the beautiful scenery, it's worth the drive just to get the hot chocolate. This is tasty formation flying here, guys, and I do believe I've seen a pair of legs. We have a Flintstone Cessna, but that's okay. Production says, as in Christy Moore, yeah, so on. But they actually used to do matchmaking in Lister and Varna. Flanker C19er says, really enjoying the flight. Fly with GA aircraft has a lot of fun. All great pilots starts with these little aircraft. I agree. I absolutely agree. Like, don't get me wrong, in Flight Simulator, we all want to go into the big tube liners, the big jets, and do all the procedures. But I just think in Microsoft Flight Sim, it's not there yet. You know, you can't... you know, the autopilot isn't good enough. It's not dependable enough. So the single engine or even some of the twins, that's where you want to be. As Niels Ducker has subscribed, many thanks, my dude. Happy Wednesday to you. You're very welcome along. But yeah, give it time. Once they update everything, it'll be cool. Stuart Duncan says, did you go out to Skellig, Michael and Kerry yet in one of your videos? We did. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terribly bad either. It was pretty much like a green blob of mesh. But by all means, it is there. It is like, there is a something there. There's landmass there. But again, I'm waiting on someone to update that. I have been reading up on how to Googlefy in a George Bush accent. Yeah, no, that was Peter Griffin. George Bush. We're going to... Hang on, no, I can't do it. I'll try it later on, maybe. Hello, America. We want to Googlefy the Skelligs. No, it's kind of like it. But anyway, what's in my drink? I'm drinking too much, I'd say. But you can Googlefy or Googleify. Anyway, you can basically use other imagery for the 3D objects, import them into the sim, and they look absolutely fantastic. Declan Kelly says, which is the best site to learn to fly any of the planes in Microsoft Flight Sim? Declan, if you check out Squirrel, he has a really, really good tutorial series. He's like 10 or 11 videos in there now, and it teaches you how to fly an airplane. Squirrel is of course a real world pilot, and he's made a number of tutorial videos. And they're quite good. Cloverfield says, Orbex Ireland for FSX had many Irish landmarks in it. 100% it did. It was brilliant. Best hot chocolate I ever had was in Helsinki. It was like 14 degrees below, and there was no snow. Pretty depressing, but beautiful city. Watching the shadows over the ground, it looks like a World War II bombing raid. Cool. Look at the breakaway there. Awesome. Yes, this looks good. Speaking of Trump, he has a golf course down here. Best golf course ever. Really like it. Travel there most all the time. Favorite place in the world. Most favorite place. It's down here. Doonbeg. Trump Hotel at Doonbeg. And there's a golf course and stuff like that there as well. Really like it. Almost as much as I like China. Really like China. There's a pair of legs hanging out of the plane. Look. That's hilariously funny. Now that's only happening because there's a custom livery loaded that doesn't belong to the simulator. That's why it kind of loses the absolute rag, do you know? So if you look out the front here, we can see 3 islands. We're going for the middle one. Oh, me Donald Trump impressions. The Flintstones Air Cessna. Oh yeah. Annalisa says, landing with legs instead of wheels. That's how we do things here. I tried that once, didn't turn out terribly well. I was in a wheelchair for a while. Ryan says, I shall scout it out in the Cub. Dobslayer says, not a fan of shrimp. That's okay. Patrick Cullen has donated $3.49 through the super chat. He says, that Trump accent. Well, many thanks, my dude. Patrick Cullen, you know how great you are. Really great, super great. In fact, Patrick's one of the greatest you can get. But thank you, Patrick. I really do appreciate it. I've stopped talking like that now. It's good and very kind of minute, or the minutiae of sound pockets. It's a bit rocky out there. It just is. Production says, I wonder would a butt kicker emulate turbulence on your chair? It would. Andrew Noble says he's got a golf club in Scotland. Yeah, he surely does. Oh, I forgot to mention as well, Aviation 101, or he used to be Mr. Aviation. He's really good to follow on YouTube as well. Patrick Cullen has super chatted €5.49. Many thanks for the donation, my dude. Thank you so much. Don't be encouraging me. I'll try and do this now, like busking in Tampa Bar or something. What I'd love to see, like on Jeopardy, would be George Bush, Donald Trump, and Michael D. Higgins. Now, Michael D. Higgins, he's intelligent, we know that, but God love him, he looks funny. You get away with it if you say Michael D. Higgins. You have to try and work it out what I'm saying, and then when you realise what I've said, RC is here. Hello. Them legs, though. That Cessna has a fine pair of legs, huh? I've seen a better pair of legs hanging out of a nest, but that's okay. Cool. Okay, guys, you know the drill. I'm going to go out for a landing first. You guys circle in the location. And then I can set up everything and start recording. So don't go for your approach until I say ready. Are we clear? I hope we're clear. Okay. Autopilot off. And Murphy's on the way down. Mark Pendleton is here. Good evening to you, Mark. The landing location looks good. It sure does. as we're just kind of flying around the locale. I can see the runway ahead of us, so we're just going to take our time and venture on in. It would be interesting to see the Father Ted shipwreck off the coast. That'd be pretty cool. Annalisa says, I'm humming the Father Ted music in my head. Mark says, where is this? It looks nice. These are called the Aran Islands. They're off the west coast of Ireland. This one we're going for is Inishmaan. Then you have Inishmore, and then Inishmore and Inisheer. Colonel Fork, I got that message. That's a big 10-4. Okay, Murph. You see, the landing here is going to be somewhat challenging because it's rather close to the water. Let's see what we can do here, shall we? And it's a teeny tiny runway. Okay, let's see if we can put this down without, like, running out of space. Runway 33. Touchdown. Welcome to Inishmaan. Right, guys, bear with me now. Wait till I'm on the ground, parked up and ready to go. Look at your man waving. He's giving it socks. Come over this way, he says. Don't mind me. I'm just going to freewheel it, as you do with Yaki Boo and Betsy, and face the runway. Right, bear with me. Park and brake coming on. Avionics off. Lever lights and all stuff on. Battery off. Turn our mags off just for safekeeping. Okay, now we need to go into here, into traffic. Turn on the labels for the peoples so we can see who's doing what. Need to go to this camera. Now, bear with me, guys. Not ready yet, but nearly. Turn this camera up. There we go. We're getting there. There's progress being made. Here comes Grolly. Or maybe it's Grolly. Hang on. Here we go. He's coming in for the approach. He teleported out of here. Oh. Skyfly Bry in a paper airplane. Let's come back to here a bit, shall we? Is Bantry the same as Spanish Point? Not really. Nicely done. The Dread Fan. Putting us all to shame, so he was. Lolo and Dairy Gold in the same container. No, so Bantry is a lot further south. Now, in terms of, are they similar to Spanish Point? Kind of. Dangerous Brian is here. Good evening to you. We have inbound. Here comes Stalker PT1. Ooh. Can maintenance please report to the runway? There's a pair of landing gear left on the ground. But at least you're down safely. Nothing like a bit of a bounce and a roll, a hop, skip and a jump. Dangerous Brian says, hey Murph, just popped in to hit the like button. Many thanks, Brian. Really appreciate it, my dude. I hope you're keeping well. Were you on with Q8 this evening? I was watching a bit of it earlier on. As Bullshire 908. Oh. Oh. Missed you. Keep your spacing up. Look at the amount of people here tonight. This is ridiculous. Here comes Sasson. Nicely done. Owen Risk coming in behind. Airport ident for the Chasman is Echo India Mike November. Nicely done, fellas. Nicely done. Skyfly Bry. Get rid of the other plane. Formed meteor. Oh, that's nicely done. Herbie Hare. Legs first. Bugross came in. It's looking good. Mark Pendleton says, is this an arranged meet multiplayer? Not really, dude. We do this on any stream. You're more than welcome to join in. Phil Breen. Oh. And he's down. Here comes Paddy. Oh, that was butter. There was a lot of butter there. 6 knots coming in. Don't worry that there's no landing gear. I just don't have delivery. Oh, there they are. Magic landing gear. SD Bama is in. Made it look too easy. Bionic Phil. Well, the runway's over here, man. It's okay. Here comes Sir Blackie a lot. He lines it up for the approach. What's going to happen? Like butter. Be mindful of your brakes, my dude. There's always one. Pilot NGB has spawned on the runway. Billy Rose says, is there a runway? He said it's so laggy tonight. That's never a good sign. Brendan Cogavin has just subscribed. Many thanks, Brendan. Happy Wednesday to you, sir. Hope you're keeping well. WB 1990 coming in. Making this look real nice. As the Cessna sheepishly gets out of the way. WB 190 or 1990 really nicely done. Skyfly Bry is just going to fail epically. As you do. We got a Guinness lover in the air. Glum Tapestry 126 coming in. Oh. Skyfly Bry again coming in for the landing. And he's down. Yeah. It's a little bit on the glitchy side tonight, but fear not, we still have Coley 205 to land. RC says, I subbed. Many thanks, my dude. All eyes are now on Coley. No pressure here, dude. Billy says, wait for me, I'll be quick. Okay, Billy. Here comes Coley. Oh. Nice. Nicely done. Safely down. And here comes the Guinness lover. No pressure, dude. We all believe in you. Oh, bit of a bounce. With a hop, skip, and a jump. He's down. Here comes Jam. With a pair of legs. Nicely done. The Burko Flyer is inbound. Benny P says, a pity that the name tags are different from those at YouTube. Vertical Flyer, he's showing off now. Oh, yeah, really nice. There's margarine all over the shop. Okay. Hey, everybody. So we've got lots of people here. Inishmaan have never seen as many aircraft in the history of Inishmaan. Murphy's Air Corps or Murphy's Flying Circus? Depends on the day. Okay. Right, guys, in your own good time, we are now going to take off and we want to head to a place down near Bantry. So to do that, let's open the map. Bantry. So I'll do this slowly. We're here. You could head due south in the direction of Kerry Airport and then continue on. This island here is called Whiddy Island. Bantry is here. And the runway should be, I think, here. Okay? That's where we're going. Are there any questions? Good, let's go. Okay, we're going to get things started up and keep moving fast. Tartan Sheep is here. Good evening to you. So, let's get this show on the road here, shall we? That's the light coming back on. Everything here looks good for a start. Good start on the engine. Go ahead and get our avionics turned on. All is looking well. Now, heading mode is going to play a big part on this one. We're not going to be using nav mode, so we can go ahead and turn that one off. So we'll get our heading once we get set up here shortly. 3,000 feet is going to be good for me. Can you drone over the shipwreck? Scott says, I think it's safe to say it's usually the flying circus. I agree. Okay, where's the shipwreck rather, in relation to here? Because I don't think they have it modelled. No, I don't think they have it modelled. Fair enough. We'll catch it the next time. Breen says, so many here tonight, and it only grows. Yes, absolutely. Dangerous Brian is saying that he knows he doesn't need to be here anymore. You guys are getting all the likes without his input. That's never true, Dangerous Brian. We couldn't do this without you, my friend. But yeah, many thanks for coming along tonight. Overfield says, I thought I saw it over you from you as you flew in. We'll go have a look on our takeoff. Okay, so Murph, get your plane in order here, shall we? Squawking is good. All this looks good to me. Get our flaps back in here now. Park and brake come off. And get ourselves back out onto this runway. We'll go on the grass. It's quite okay. Keen Lafford says, cue the shameless plug. Don't mind if I do, Keen Lafford. There's a whole load of crazy going on behind us. Oh, do you know what I need to do? Hit escape. Everyone's going to go past me now, because when you hit the escape or when you live pause it, everyone else still moves. Which is nuts. I'm recording this on my computer and upload it later tonight, so you have a view from my viewpoint. Cool. So guys, if you're new here, don't forget, if you're on Twitch, you can follow. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe if you're into this kind of thing. And if you're not, that's quite okay. I'll just keep trying. I know, seriously, if you like the stuff, feel free to leave comments and, you know, subscribes and stuff. But there'll be nothing fancy on this. This is just a get out of Dodge kind of a departure. Because we gotta get down to Bantry relatively quick, because time is oh god. It's like that scene. Don't hit me. But it's grand, it's totally grand. Let's do a side window departure, shall we? Don't mind me at all. Someone crashed. Two-Tone Murphy, the home of realistic flight simulation. As real as it gets. Oh god, there's a big group of them. Let's forget all of that happened. And we'll just start flying, shall we? Because we have a bit of a trek to do. Flaps coming in. There's some speed build up here. Direct should be on my right. I don't think so, dude. Hang on, bear with me. Get ourselves. Oh, the trim doesn't work after autopilot. That's kind of annoying.
Hey, good morning.
Yazdan Rip is now following. Many thanks, my dude. Thank you very much, and happy Wednesday. Like, I imagine the shipwreck would be on the satellite imagery. So we'll have to wait and see. Lucy says, I'm back. Game never loaded. I got stuck on a white spinning wheel and a black screen with a white mouse. That's all I got when I loaded. Oh, that's too bad, Lucy. But you're very welcome back. We are now going to try and fly south. If I go autopilot, heading mode, altitude mode of 3,000 feet, please. I'm going to V-speed, and let's see if this works. Let's hope it works. Come on now, autopilot. Okay, so it's trying to do the heading part. It won't do the vertical speed. It's thinking about it. It's thinking about it. Let's go for 500 feet. Okay, it's starting to behave itself. Heading is 180 degrees for the moment. Until we get our bearings. So let's see, 180 kind of ish degrees. We're going to be heading kind of down Kerry direction. So it'll actually be 178 degrees. Yeah, we'll check this heading for a while and see how we get on. Quick check on our temperatures, pressures, fuel and all that good stuff. EGT, don't worry about that now, we're just going to be pushing. That is the plan. Based on the angle, let me see, about here and then 180. Yes, we've got to make a very slight adjustment to the right, 180 north of Kerry. But we should be grand. Skyfly Ray says, just change aircraft to the Citation CJ4. Autopilot on the 172 is a bit iffy. 100%, says the Burko Flyer. Keen Laffer says, how the generic human activates Alexa. Alexa, play congratulations. How Murph activates Alexa. So, we'll be taking off from... No, Alexa. Philly Rose says, glad I got a Ryzen 5 3600 for this. Oh yeah. A serious machine. Siri went off in the background. That was hilarious.
Could you try again?
That was terrifying. I don't know why that happened, but it did. I don't even know what Siri said. She could have said anything. So down here we're going to have kind of the cliffs of Moher. We'll turn this way a little bit. Let's just see what happens. So we continue on our adventure. As we have some nice cliffs to look at. We got a caravan, a couple of Cessnas. Dangerous Brian says, we're 17 likes short for tonight's stream, guys. Mark says, my son said your PC specs are about £2,000. Don't tell the wife. Actually, a little bit more, but not much more. Jam says, wow, definitely need to visit this area next summer. 100%. This area is really nice. Paul B says, sub for you, mate. Thank you. Many thanks, Paul. Really appreciate it, my dude. Hey, how's it going? So we have a good crew of people flying tonight. Coverfield says, skim past the cliffs of Moher. We surely will. Six Knots says, thanks Murph, have to head off. No problem, my dude. Six Knots, thank you very much for joining us tonight. You have a good Wednesday, and yeah, take care, my dude. Aaron Bailey is here. He says, don't you just love aviation? Oh yeah. None of my games won't work as much as my laptop. No, she didn't say that. She says, none of my games work as much and my laptop is 1 terabyte. That's too bad, my dude. Don't worry, Lucy. Well, I don't know. It depends if you have a very good internet connection. There are other ways you can kind of live stream other games. I've read about doing that before. Don't know how good it is, but I think it can be done. Mark says, it looks like a bit of freedom in the skies. Good effort, all. Now guys, don't forget, Bantry is not listed as an airport, so we gotta actually find it ourselves. What's your latitude? Good question. I couldn't tell you. Good old VFR to find an airport. If anyone is struggling, like I was, Google Powerline Ethernet adapters. They're a lifesaver. Oh, I must look into that, Aaron. Powerline Ethernet. What's the advantage? Are they a faster speed? Kenneth says, I'm sure you have a cunning plan, Murph. This would be a fun way to build hours in real life, says Jam. It surely would. So we've more of the cliffs kind of down here, and we have some of the cliffs again up here. They're not amazing detail, or they're not in amazing detail. They're not bad. But yeah, so if you want to kind of have a good focus on the cliffs of Moher, there is another video we did. I think it was Chasing Storm Ellen. You guys want to check out that video over on YouTube. We did a good number of flights kind of around the cliffs of Moher. Had some really tidy flying. Who's in the caravan, guys? TP-Link is the best. Dangerous Brian says, guys, let's support Murphy and get him up to 3,000 subscribers. Many thanks, Brian. That would be sweet. I don't know what I'd do with 3,000 subscribers. Like, I couldn't have you around for dinner. Well, I could, but not on the same night. Invite you all around for dinner, you know? Dinner at Murph's house tonight. Mrs. Two-Tone Murphy would be only delighted. In our new fitted friggin' kitchen. Anyway. Billy, I'm in the caravan. Nice flying, Billy. Mark says, who knows, in a few months you could have a load of Spitfires over the White Cliffs. That would be an awesome sight. Or we could have a few P-51s maybe. Philly Road says, barbecue is the way to go. Scott says, cabbage and potatoes. Oh yeah. Or some good old Irish stew or Dublin coddle. I like me a bit of coddle every now and again. Says you, what? Coddle, look it up. It's nice. Okay, new heading. Oh, we are pretty much 180. Never mind. Are we? How about there? Scott says, what is coddle? Google it, my friend. It's quite nice. Beware of those TP-Link power lines. I've had to wig out there on me after 9 to 10 months of use. Oh no, it's terrible. Scott said, I would have to whip up a pot of chili. That'd be nice. Mark says, a virtual Red Arrows team. That would be sweet. Darren says, left 90 degrees. See if they've modelled Father Ted's house. Double Expert says, I went to Dublin International once and it was the quietest capital city airport ever. Yeah. Annalisa says, do you use rashers in your coddle? Of course. Lucy Marshall says, I'm still trying to load my game but using my phone to watch your stream. That's called epic multitasking, Lucy. I approve. Aaron Bailey said, it's a midweek work night, but watching a live aviation stream and lager is a match made in heaven. I agree. Productions asked, do you know what bodice is, Murph? I don't. And Aaron, tomorrow morning when you're going to work and you're tired, I will also be tired. It won't seem like such a great idea then. Or will it? We'll have to wait and see. We're pretty much on course here. Okay, Cessna. What can we get out of you? Let's bring it to the rental line, shall we? First I'm using autopilot when the X-Cub to your left. Nicely done. Greetings. Lucy says, I'm eating a dark chocolate mint. Mmm. Jealous.com. Mint dark chocolate. Is there any other type of dark chocolate? Mark says, I can fly on my PC. Next to that, I can watch the stream on my iMac 27. Cool. Mark also gets the epic multitasker badge. Production says, it's a Cork thing. My Dublin mates haven't a clue either. Okay. Kean Leffer says, epic multitasking, you say? I can rub my belly and pat my head at the same time. Yes, but can you do it with your feet? Only if you can do it with your feet, Kean. Scott says, some of us can just sleep in with the retired schedule. Scott says, cheddar and caramel popcorn here. Now that sounds nice. The Mandrake says, dude, your stream is better than the official Microsoft stream right now. Well, there's some very kind words for me. Not so much for the official Microsoft. What is an official Microsoft stream? Ramble into them and tell them all to jump in here. Jim Oates is on the baked beans and mashed potato. Dylan Halpin is here. Fly over Tralee after. We're going to look for Bantry, and I say we'll call it a night after we do some all sorts of crazy landing challenges. The flying circus is just after getting warmed up with our dress rehearsal back at Inishmaan. I wouldn't like to see that jet land in Bantry. Something tells me the repair bill is going to be awful. Aaron says, my Wi-Fi kept timing out every now and again. Oh, just got an achievement. Land at an airport where wind speeds are in excess of 5 knots without using any assistance. Result. My Wi-Fi kept timing out every now and again. Power line Ethernet adapters give you an Ethernet connection anywhere in the house using your electric house wires. It's epic and clever. I like that. Double Expert says, could you imagine a Microsoft Flight Sim was a driving game where you could explore the world with cars? Don't think that I haven't thought of that. Give it time. Cat Strader had a very good podcast with Threshold X, and he's of the opinion that as great as this sim is, he feels that the flight simmer is not the target audience for this new technology. And this is new technology. You know, this can incorporate real-world weather, real-world traffic, photogrammetry, satellite information. It can do all of these things. So, yes, they will start, obviously, with flight simulation, but who's to say they don't move it on then to exploring the ground? You just don't know. Dangerous Brian says, come on guys and girls, 8 likes to go. Go on, you buy it. Lucy says, I didn't wake up till 2 p.m. today over having a leg cramp last night. There's nothing worse. So, you know the way I talk about all my war wounds, I broke my legs when I went parachuting. And if I get pins and needles, as in, you know when your legs get pins and needles, do you guys call it pins and needles in the States? If you don't, it's like there's a party in your leg and everyone is invited except for you, and it's really painful. But anyway, if I get a leg cramp or pins and needles in my leg, in particular my left leg, it's I wish it happened like in the morning so I didn't need an alarm clock. I will immediately spring up out of the bed and using all of my force try to push over the wall. TGSR 1997 says, hello from Portugal. Hello from Ireland. You're very welcome along. Good evening to you, and many thanks for joining the stream.
Hey, good morning.
And TGSR 1997 is now following. Many thanks, my dude. Very kind of you. I do hope you're enjoying the stream. So we took off from Newcastle in County Wicklow tonight, flew across to Burr, County Offaly. From Burr, we flew west over to the Aran Islands, and we landed on Inishmaan. From Inishmaan, we're now heading south to find an airport that isn't actually included in the sim. But like that scene in Wayne's World, if you book it, they will come. I imagine there's going to be some sort of satellite imagery down there of the little runway. It's a private runway down in Bantry in County Cork. That's where we're heading for. Mark says, big shout out to my son Reese, who's going to build me a new PC for this sim soon. Whoop whoop. Big shout out to Reese. Good evening to you, Reese. And fair play to you for building a rig for your father. Be sure to tell him everything is twice the price so you can build one for you as well. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. He won't be impressed. The Mandarik is now following. Many thanks, my dude. He says there's no helicopters yet. No, but there will be hopefully soon. Jamfjord says just poured out another pint, so if Bantry is a tricky airstrip, there will be no butter. Then again, there could be. Aaron says that would be cool. Microsoft Drive Simulator. I'm telling you. Jim Oates is on the single malt Scotch whiskey or a beer. Matt Steve is here. He said there's nothing worse than a leg cramp. There's only one thing worse than a leg cramp. 2 leg cramps. Annalisa says, do you get Charlie's horse cramps? It's usually when I am a bit dehydrated. Charlie's horse cramps? I don't know. Philly Rose says, working from home is great. Out of the bed, in the office. Nice. Matt Steve says, I heard it's brutal over there. Lox Martin is here. He says, hello, I'm new to the channel, enjoying it so far. Well, good evening to you, Lox Martin. You're very welcome. Happy Wednesday to you, dude. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the content. Lucy says, I would love to have Microsoft Driving Simulator so we could drive around my area. Jim Oates asks, did you have a hard landing, Murph, or shoot issues? I had a terribly hard landing, like a sack of spuds. So when we jumped to 4,500 feet, and it was a static line, so you're on your own, and you have, after 3 seconds, the chute opens up. And it was great. Like, the jump was amazing, the fall was amazing, the landing not so good. You were to turn on final, literally at above 500 feet, you have to make your final turn towards the LZ. And when you do that, you should be now travelling against the wind. However, the wind had changed prior to takeoff, and I was unaware of this. So out of the chalk of 12, only 3 of us hit the LZ, and I hit it fairly bad. One of the guys got blown off into like a potato field. Another guy ended up on a dike, lucky for him, but it was a dike as in a ditch. Yeah, so as I turned on final, if you like, at 500 feet, my approach was okay. You know, I was able to control the chute, and you know, my flare, I had to start the flare early only because, okay, my rate of descent wasn't too bad, but it was the velocity in which I was moving forwards. So the equivalent would be, if you were to, you know, if you stood on like a table and you jumped off it and landed like a pencil, it wouldn't do much harm. However, if you're traveling at, you know, 40 to 50 miles per hour and you tried to do the same thing, well, something somewhere is going to go, no. And it's like standing on kind of dry twigs in the wintertime, and that's the crack you hear. So yeah. It was a Murphy issue, not a shoot issue. Aaron Bailey says, and now you have me hooked. I need to see this airport before I go to bed. I better get another beer then, lad. Oh yeah. The Mandarin says, peanut butter. Nolene Holden is here. Good evening to you, Nolene. Well, what have I missed? We took off from Newcastle in County Wicklow. We flew to Burr, County Offaly, then over to Inishmaan on the Aran Islands, and we're now heading south in pursuit of Bantry. We're roughly halfway there. Time Lord Fly says, I think I'm last in this air convoy. Well, let's have a look. Oh, there's lots of us now. We're all catching up. That does look insanely nice, though. David Martin is here. Good evening to you. Patrick Cullen says, Murph, we will need to increase altitude for the mountains ahead. Question mark. Ooh. Yes, we will. Because one of them is going to be, I think Carantoul is over this neck of the woods. So, adjusting the altitude, we're going to go to 4,000 feet, gents and gentesses, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to climb at a rate of 500 feet per minute, and we're going to climb up to 4,000 feet. Philly Road says, Des Moines is the landing demon. Lucy Marshall says, Charlie Horse is the same of leg cramps, I think. Aha. Cloverfield asks, is anyone old enough to remember the Willie Island disaster? I remember reading about it. Scott White says, all the new folks, please hit the subscribe button. I would be very grateful, guys. Time for a shameless plug, I believe. So if you're new here and you like the content, don't forget, hit the like button, feel free to subscribe on YouTube or hit the follow button on Twitch. It will be greatly appreciated. And maidens will sing songs about you. Box Martin says, I've been flying over Ireland today on my stream. My granddad is from Sligo and my nan is from Galway. Love it. Nice. Whereabouts you living, Lox? Are you in the States or are you in Europe? Ryan says, I would love to see a Microsoft walking simulator. I just had BT Fibre installed, 900 meg, it's insane, that'll be good for the same mounted. Mark, I'm incredibly jealous and envious of your extremely fast broadband. I have relatively fast broadband, but you know, it crashes every now and again, which is super annoying. John Fjord says, I think the custom livery was a mistake, I reckon. It's slowing down the old 172. You see, they need stripes to make them go faster. That's what I've been told. Aaron Bailey asks, are you upgrading your GPU? If so, which one? A 3070, an 80, or the Mentalist 3090? It's going to have to be the 3090. Lucy says, the game just loaded. After all, happy days. Philip Reed says, are you on real-time weather, Murph? Question mark. I think so, yes. Ivan says, my instructor on a critique of one of my jumps just commented. Nice. David Martin said, was having to crash the desktop all week. Have given up on Microsoft Flight Sim. Well, David Martin, don't forget, jump over to Discord. If there's something in there we can help with, I'd gladly help. And let's see if we can sort it for you. Ryan says, are we going to do like a stall landing challenge at the next airstrip if we find it? If we find it, it's a very, very, very small runway. If it's not going to be level, which is a good chance it won't be level, it's going to be extremely tricky to land it. And if there's grass, don't cheat, don't go for the grass. Kevin says, looking forward to joining you guys for next Monday night, or next Monday's flight. Any hints where we might be flying? Well, we're also here Friday as well, Kevin. And I might do something on Saturday, but I'm not sure about next Monday where we're going. We're going somewhere, that's a certainty. I just haven't figured out where yet. Keane says, it's getting a bit foggy. It is. Are the people playing as ATC and FS 2020, asks Alex. Will they currently use third-party programs, be it VATSIM or Pilot Edge? So yeah, Lucy says, now it's not. Oh god. Pilot Ace 1235 is here. Good evening to you, Pilot Ace. Many thanks for joining us. Locke says, I'm from Wales but living in Leicester at the moment, but my family are from Galway and Sligo. Cool. Mando Rick says, my router crashes. It's from Virgin Media. That's a pity. Pilot Ace says, you streaming on YouTube also? Yep, we surely are. Paradox Ray is here. He says, can you go to Yonkers? We will at some day, yes. Lucy says, it's slow a bit. Mark says, real-time weather, it's dark now. No, well, the weather would be live, but obviously the time of day you can change. If we were to go into all live, it would be pitch black. Never seen a game take that long. That's never a good thing. C. Murray 1234 is here. Good evening to you. You're very welcome along. Happy Wednesday. Dangerous Brain says, I have a history with Virgin Media. Full flaps for a stall landing, I reckon. It will. Buddy Ray 2014 is here. Yeah, we'll have a look at the Yonkers soon, guys. Maybe not tonight, but soon. Tiny World of Tom is here. Hello, all you guys. Hello, Tiny World of Tom. Happy Wednesday to you, dude. You're very welcome. Kenneth Naughton says, why not land on grass? It'll save on my tyres. But where's the fun in that? Mando says, I understand danger. Stephen Cochran says, Killarney is front right. It surely is. Over this neck of the woods. We are in really nice territories here now, guys. Alex says, who's your man with the gear down? It depends. If they have a livery that I don't have installed, it mightn't load the aircraft correctly. And what's hilarious, Alex, some of the planes are a little bit glitched and you can actually see a pair of legs hanging down. So my plane and this plane and that plane, they don't have retractable gear. They're fixed landing gear, they don't move. Same with this one here. So most of them have fixed landing gear. Simmery says, hey man, love your streams. Many thanks, my dude. Lucy Martin says, it might be my RAM, it's low. That's a pity.
Hey, good morning.
Oh, Risk is now following. Many thanks, my dude. Matt Steve is here. He goes, are you having a beer tonight, Murphy? We're having the Captain's Finest with some cola. The Burko Flyer says, it looks like a volcano to my right. That would be Carrontool, the tallest mountain in Ireland. Locke says, would you recommend going from 8 to 16 gigs for the sim? I currently average 20 FPS on Ultra. Do you think upgrading to 16 gigs will help? Yes. Maybe not with the FPS, but definitely for the smoothness. Simmery says, I learned to fly a 152 in real life. Nice. Scott says, keep this up. I will need to break out my Ireland Atlas. There's always one. The scenery is insanely good up here.
Hey, good morning.
Admiral Ted is now following. Many thanks, my dude. Happy Wednesday. Really appreciate the follow. And I hope you're enjoying this stream. Scott is here. He says 16 gig is minimum for all games. 8 gig is just for loading Chrome. Probably. Dangerous Brian has some issues and he says, watch this space. Do let me know how that gets on, Brian. Jam Fjord says, wow, this scenery, it's epically good, guys. Like, of all the places in Flight Sim, I'm totally biased now. I'm Irish, but like, Ireland is modelled superbly well when it comes to the countryside. And we do have a lot to show here. Aaron Bailey says, my other half has started working from home and now shares the office space. I can't be bothered setting up my gear every night, so fly mostly weekends. She earns good money, so leave her be. The Burko Flyer says, thanks Murph. Who needs Google Earth? Lucy says, I had 1 pint of hiding a while ago. I approve. A pint of hydrogen. Ryan says, here in the States where I live, we will call that mountain a hill. Yeah, okay, but like, you know. Yeah, you probably would, to be fair. You guys have some serious, serious mountains. Matt Steve says, nice, can't go wrong with a Captain and Coke. I'm having a honey whiskey with Coke myself. It's a nice combination. Billy Roach says, the game requires fast RAM. The more RAM, but 32 gigs should be loads. GPU intensive also. I can agree with that. Simmery says, I love the 152. Please do a stream in it, please. Sure thing, no bother. We'll certainly do a stream in a 152 soon. Oh, we're getting close. In actual fact, we need to make the minutiae of right turns. So we need to do this to there. This is getting exciting. Can you pop on your VF4 map? Yes, yes we can. So we're heading for this little area down here. This will be Bantry. Black says, I bought a I have a £500 budget for upgrading a PC. What would be the priority compound to upgrade to run well on Ultra? Depending on your specs, if you have a decent graphics card and a processor, you're okay. Invest maybe in RAM or certainly an NVE or an M2 drive. They're faster than an SSD. They always help. Nico says, your legs are dangling out, Murph, at your 3 o'clock. I think they're okay. No legs. Bonanza. Cool. Skank Blaster is here. He says, where are we now in Ireland? We're kind of flying over Kerry as we ramble on into Cork. Blue Fizz 54 says Xbox for this game. Should get Xbox for this game. Yeah, this should be released on Xbox hopefully before Christmas, I believe. Mark says rebooting PC. Aaron Bailey, Wedge of Lime and Ice. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Can you fly over East Coast, Dublin and Dunleary? So Sim Murray, if you go onto YouTube, I have a number of videos there already. Some of our previous streams, we're getting bumpy. Some of our previous streams have taken us over the Dublin neck of the woods. Now this is Bantry down here, and this be Whiddy Island. We're getting close, peoples. So we're going to bring this down to 3,000 feet. So remember, if there is an airport here, let Murphy go first and see if Murphy can get it down. And if I can get it down, I'll record all you guys coming in. Do we have a deal? I should hope so. Dangerous Brian says, does no one want to be the 100th liked? Go on, someone like the video. Oh wait, we have 100 likes. Nice, thank you all so very, very much. Bosman is here. He says, I'm watching with a glass of Bushmills. I approve. Blue Fizz says, should I buy a $299 Xbox or $499 for this game? Ooh. When it comes to hardware, when it comes to consoles, the newer the better. Maybe hold off for the Xbox X. Lucy says, I might see about getting more RAM. Yeah, more RAM helps. Mando Rick says, anyone know the server region? This is Europe, North Europe. Alex says you should fly over Lambay Island off the Dublin coast at some stage. We've done that, Alex, if you want to check out some YouTube videos on the channel. How do I get you guys a multiplayer and spawn near you, asked Mark. So make sure you're select to all players. Make sure you're on the North Europe server and drop your marker on the map. Here's Ireland. From down here, you have 1, 2, 3 little legs. We're going for this one down here. Aaron Bailey says, I have a 2070 Super with a 97K. I run a 1440p with everything on Ultra. I get frame drops on the ground. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. What's your RAM like, dude? Lucy says, the game is working fine. Nice. Rory is here. He says, Celtic FC. Okay. Admiral Ted says, new rig, whiskey, stream, and flying can't go wrong. Absolutely. Okay, so here's Bantry. There is an airport here. I can see something. Now, whether or not it's modelled, I don't know. This here is called Whiddy Island. And Whiddy Island, you can actually, there's a ferry. So if you're staying in Bantry, Bantry's great, by the way, and there's a fantastic hotel here called the Maritime Hotel, and they do a really good breakfast. And after a night of pints, the next day, I recommend you get the little ferry, or boat, get the little boat over to Whiddy Island, and you can walk around the island. It takes a couple of hours, but it's very interesting. There's a lot of old gun installations from the British Empire, I suppose, way back in the day. This was an extremely important port, if you like, back in the kind of 1700s, and it was heavily defended. And like, they have all like kind of seal farms in Bantry then itself. They have a beautiful walkway around kind of one of the beaches looking out. Like, the whole area is just fantastic. Anyway, autopilot coming off. Let's go down here for a closer look, shall we? Runway ahoy. So this is going to be interesting. Now, for an extra challenge, we are going to land on this side. On this runway, facing this way. So we're going travelling this way, yeah? So we'll be landing towards the west. And the reason being is, well, the sun is nice and low, it's going to blind you. But it also means I can put my little camera down and look at you this way. So let's have a look here, shall we? As we fly over Whiddy Island. Here's a little marina where you get the boat to. There's a pub there. And the lady who works in the pub is an aunt, I think, of a famous Irish rugby player. The Guinness is excellent. But you can walk around the whole island, like it's quite remote in that. You can also Google the Whiddy Island disaster. Very sad. There was a explosion, I think, on a ship, and an oil tanker leaked and all this kind of terrible stuff. But it's still interesting, and they've cleaned up the place. Okay, so we do have an airport. Oh, look at the ground. Okay, so the runway is not flat. But that's okay. We're going to fly around here to see what we can see. Then I'm going to land it, and as soon as I land it, you guys can all start coming in for your approach. But I just want to check the grounding first. Okay, so it's accurate so far as, yes, there is a hangar there. It's not necessarily on stilts, though. Well, there's someone on the ground, that's always a good sign. And there's not a big apartment block there, that's just like a car park in a big building. The ground is not level at all. This is going to be real fun. Okay, Murph. It's up to you. We're going to go for a landing on runway 27. Kenneth Naughton says, I'm down. He made it. That's good, Kenneth. This area is really nice. It's beautiful in the sim and it's beautiful in real life. Bantry is an absolute cracker of a destination to go to. Okay, so let's see if I can get this plane down. Now remember, guys, wait for me to land and then I can call you all back in then, yeah? That's the plan. So here's Bantry. The building on the far side of the bay there, that's called the Maritime Hotel. Then you have Bantry House over there. Notch of flaps coming down. Don't end up in the water here, Murph. Oh yeah, this will be challenging. Nothing but sunshine. face cam on for dramatic effect. Now let's see what we can do here, shall we? Another notch of flaps. Oh, look at the ground. Look at the ground. Okay. So we want to be careful where we hit this kind of a pretend runway. It's like, you know, post-apocalyptic Ireland if the runways ran out of fundage. Oh dear. Okay, mind that bit of a hill up. Head her down. And we're down. It can be done. So, don't go into the wet. Don't go into the water. You were doing so well. Okay, I'm going to park here. Parking brake coming on. Avionics off. Engines off. Battery off. Okay. What's going to happen? Don't tell me this controller isn't working again. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh, that's so annoying. Why does this not work? Reset. Could it work this way? Right now? Okay, stand by. There has to be a way to... that's not right. Okay, but we have this view. We tried this the last time, so we're going to jump inside the plane. And we'll watch it from here, I suppose. Hit the escape key. Going to turn our traffic labels on. That's twice now it's done that on a landing, which is really bad. Can we go up the way? Not really, says you. Okay, we can kind of see it from here, can't we? Or can we? I think we can. So, Dreadfan is coming in first. It's looking good. He's lined up the approach. That was nicely done. Don't spin off. He's got it. Grolia's down as well. John Morris says, hi Murph, that was stunning. Cool. Many thanks, John. Bionic Phil is coming in. Keep your spacings right, guys. There's a bounce. There's a big bounce. There's another bounce. Oh! The Bionic guy has disappeared. Here comes Chippy. Oh! He's banking left and right. Will he get it down? Ka-dunk. He's down. Bring up the VFR map just to show you guys where we are. Here comes Bullshire 908. Nicely done. Guinness Lover coming in behind. Oh, he's down. Nicely done, fellas. You needed only about a third of the runway. Here comes Stalker PT1 and Owen Risk right behind. That is not a nice runway. No, no, it's not. Nicely done, fellas. Nicely done. Here comes Glum Tapestry. He's down. SD Bama coming in along with Tam Official. Bugruss and Sir Blackie a lot. We're all coming in together. Guys, I can't believe it. You're actually doing it. No one has scaled off the end of the runway into the sea. Fugras is down. Here comes Sir Blackie a lot. Horned Meteor coming in as well. Oh, 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 oh. Oh. There's Carnage. Exposian is coming in as well. Bit of a bounce, but he's got it under control. We can see Phil Green here in the background, along with Ash and Papa Joe. Nicely done, Phil Green. Ash is down. Skyfly Bright coming in with the jet. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Papa Joe is down as well. Nicely done. Pilot Furball 740 making his approach. You see like a bouncing Cessna. It's amazing. Pilot Furball is down. Paddy 140 making away along with Dreadfan. Bit of a bounce from Paddy. It looks like he's going to hold it. The banjo music reminds you of Wacky Races. Oh yeah. Nicely done, fellas. The Dreadfan, bit of a bounce, but he'll live to tell another tale. WB 1990, Herbie Hare and the Burko Flyer all on approach. He went for the grass. Lucy says, still installing packages. That's okay, we'll catch you the next time. Chum Bag says, did you visit any other nearby towns, Murph? Surely did. Nicely done, the Burko Flyer. The Chasman is on the way in. Coley 205 is behind. Nicely done, the Chasman. Nicely done. Coley 205, Whisper Gaming coming in behind. It's a doozy, Cody, but you made it. You made it. Whisper Gaming coming in the caravan. Oh, bit of a bounce. Bit of a bounce. Hey. Kind of busy here. Here comes Jam Fjord. Oosh. With a pair of legs coming out of Cessna. Oh, what's going to happen here? Hit those brakes, dude. Hit those brakes. Oh, no. He made it. Nicely done. Well, I have to say, that's been beyond nuts. Well, there we have it. Another crazy, crazy night of epic flying. What do you say? Well, at least we can say we found it. Which is always a good thing, I do think. So, what I would like to do tonight, I want to help out another aspiring flight simulator for all of you guys over on Twitch. We're going to raid a channel because there's loads of us here in Twitch. There's 26 of us, which is that's a good night's work for me. So if you guys wouldn't mind hanging on for a couple of minutes, we're going to jump over to another streamer just to give him a bit of a helpful hand in the right direction. I'm all about supporting other flight sim enthusiasts, so let's see if we can do a bit of magic tonight. For everyone else, thank you all so very, very much for tonight. It was an absolute blast. We found Bantry. Hey, achievement. Thanks to all the subscribers, the donators. We've even more people subscribing. Ashley 92 is now following. Many thanks. Right at the end of the stream. That's okay, Ashley. You can catch this amongst all our other stuff over on YouTube. Tiny World of Tom is now following. Many thanks, Tom. It's all happening. Scott Boyd donates 10 through the super chat. And thank you for the stream. Have a cold one for me. Scott, thank you so very, very much. Don't forget, guys, I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Lox Martin is now following as well. Many thanks, my dude. Yeah, so every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 o'clock Irish time. And we'll see you here again really soon. For everyone who joined us in multiplayer, including Chippy. Thanks, Chippy. Yeah. We'll see you all really soon. For those of you on Twitch, stand by. We're going to jump into another stream just to say hello. And for everyone else, we'll see you Friday. Good night.